A few days ago, I did a video about that Alabama female cop, Dana Elmore, who tased the individual on the hood of her car because he looks suspicious. And in that, I had a whole bunch of dimwits, dunderheads, dodo birds, and people of their ilk come in my comment section trying to talk like I don't know what I'm talking about when it comes to police officers getting involved in misconduct that should be fired and prosecuted, right? And in that, we're going to talk about a situation down in South Carolina, in the area I grew up, which you have this guy, this individual right here. And before we get into the commentary, I'm going to play a video, fair use, and you see what I'm talking about in more detail on the other side. Let's just get to it.
Hey, you done, son? Get down. Down. Get down. Get the down, dude. You think I'm waistband, dude? Quit reaching in your waistband. You think I'm messing with you? You got a gun? You got a gun? You don't know?
No.
I got him. I'm back here. I got you. It's your boy. You'll see. It's your boy. Get up.
Oh, why you poking me in my face?
Because you're reaching in your waistband, that's why. Negative, just one person. I think you slick. Enjoy that little nap. Go right here.
Why you poking me in my face, man?
Because you're reaching your waistband.
Man, come
I ain't
on,
playing
man.
with no damn gun, boy.
Man, you know me personally.
Yeah.
No, look at me.
Yeah.
You know me personally. You know
Yeah.
I don't play with no guns.
You think I'm supposed to, just wait?
I put my pants.
Wait?
Now, I apologize for not warning you in advance that this could be potentially graphic and it could also be traumatizing. So I wanted to state that before I get to the commentary. So the guy that you see here on the thumbnail, he goes by the name of James Henry Carter III. So what you saw was the body cam footage of James Henry Carter III punching a suspect 9 times in the back of the head, causing him to briefly lose consciousness. Now, this incident happened back in October. Now, what you didn't see was the car chase that reached speeds of more than 100 miles an hour, and it turned into a pursuit on foot. So, the former deputy, rounded the corner to find the suspect, Rashad Duncan, and he was crouching against a mobile home. So he approached the guy, telling him to get the fuck down, and simultaneously punched that guy in the face. And then he just rained down punches in the back of his head in consecutive succession. And then Carter yelled out a racial slur, and I think he said the N word. What's up, Arquise Ross? Salute to you for your donation to Cash App. I appreciate it. Because on that video, you heard James Henry Carter yell out the N word. Now, Joseph Canarella, an attorney with the Savage Law Firm who is representing Carter, says the video disputes the false narrative that the client uttered a racial epithet, but he did. But Duncan's lawyer, State Representative Marvin Pendarvis, a Democrat out of North Charleston, said the slur is so clear that he's surprised questions are being raised. Either way, the Charleston County Sheriff's Office ruled that his other actions were enough to warrant his dismissal. After handcuffing Duncan and putting him in the deputy's patrol vehicle, Carter then asked the guy, enjoyed the nap, acknowledging that the man had lost consciousness from the beating. According to the arrest affidavit and body cam footage reviewed by the Post and Courier. Now, Sheriff Christian Graziano read on the December 4th news release that the Charleston County Sheriff's Office has a zero tolerance policy. Carter was fired on November 9th because of the egregious conduct just one day after the Office of Professional Standards was notified of the incident and reviewed camera footage, according to Carter's termination letter. The Sheriff's Office also asked SLED. Now, SLED is the South Carolina Law Enforcement Division. That is the division that oversees all the police precincts in South Carolina. So, how like in Georgia you got the GBI or whatever, in South Carolina you have SLED. They're the ones that reviews the police and their conduct anytime there's a police incident. He's also facing criminal charges of misconduct in office and third-degree assault and battery. He was booked into the Sheriff Al Cannon Detention Center on November 27th and was released later on that day after posting more than $21,000 in bonds. But firing the deputy may not be enough. He encourages the sheriff's office to take a look at the conditions that allow Carter to act that way in the first place. And yeah, while cops tend to, make split-second decisions, but make no mistake, there's no indication that that man had a gun on him. And the fact that you beat that man almost to the point where he was unconscious, they had the nerve to ask him, you enjoy that nap? What the hell? See, that's what should have happened to Denny Elmore. What happened with James Henry Carter III in South Carolina is what should have happened to Denny Elmore out in Alabama when she tased the man that was handcuffed. But instead, all she got was administrative leave, barring the results of the investigation. Where it's clear as day what she did. No different than what James Henry Carter did. Now, I haven't told you about the other incidents that this man was involved in, because this one was the latest in a string of incidents when it comes to the many reprimands that this man has had, the many disciplinary actions that was levied upon this man in his 14 years as a cop. So this incident right here was not a one-off. I need everyone to understand that. This was the latest in a string of incidents involving this man. But somehow he get to keep his job with all the reprimands, all the suspensions, all the fines and all that. This man was still able to keep his job for 14 fucking years. I'm going to read to you an article coming from live5news.com. And Live 5 News was the publication that I grew up watching during my time as an adolescent and Charleston, South Carolina, and I'm going to read to you what they had to say when it comes to this particular individual. The former Charleston County deputy, who is now facing multiple charges after he repeatedly beat a suspect unconscious, was no stranger to internal affairs during his time in law enforcement. James Henry Carter was suspended a total of 5 times and faced numerous letters of instruction and reprimand over his 14-year career, according to his personnel files. Carter started at the Florence County Sheriff's Office, then later at the Charleston Police Department and Charleston County Sheriff's Office. He resigned from the Charleston Police Department in 2015 during the ongoing investigation into a viral video online that showed Carter in a heated interaction with several teenagers in downtown Charleston, where Carter could be heard telling them, "Y'all go to church," as they yelled profanities at him. Okay, first of all, I don't believe that he told some teenagers to go to church. Okay, I don't believe that at all. I think he said something else. Now, as far as like what exactly he said, I don't know, but I definitely don't believe him telling some teenagers to go to church, but whatever. At the time of the investigation, there was confusion about if Carter said "get hurt" in the video, though he denied ever saying this. The department even paid a third-party service $2,500 to analyze the video recording and to clear things up. The transcription did not indicate if the words "get hurt" had been said. The most serious of the suspensions he faced occurred in 2018 and resulted in a week without pay and removal from the SWAT team. This came after internal affairs investigations learned he pointed his personal Glock 43 at another off-duty deputy's abdomen during a booze-filled birthday bash. The incident was reported to have occurred at the Charleston Sports and Social Club in West Ashley in front of other sheriff's office employees. Carter is noted to have said it was a stupid and tasteless thing to do and had apologized to the deputy. Although you attempted to explain the incident as a joke, the egregious nature of the event is particularly concerning, especially with respect to your use of sound judgment. This was the Captain S. Barkersack wrote in Carter's suspension letter. Now, Carter was found to have violated the company's unbecoming conduct policy, the same one that would be later cited as grounds for his recent termination. Now, the judge sets bond for the, I already talked about that. The $21,000 bond, I already talked about that. Other disciplines that Carter has received. This one was in part to a case where he was clocked doing more than 100 miles an hour and chasing a suspect through a construction zone, which began due to the suspect's reckless driving that supervisors Wright was never seen on tape. He was also disciplined for rolling through stop signs without clearing intersections properly and failing to activate his body camera multiple times. In March 2019, Balkersack wrote, "Your endless effort to pursue and apprehend the criminal element is very admirable. Sadly, there continues to be a serious disconnect with the proper activation of your body-worn camera. This failure is completely unacceptable." Another time in 2019, he abandoned his canine Zeus in a civilian's backyard to continue a foot chase that involved hopping over a 6-foot fence, an act that Lieutenant Joseph Christmas called extremely egregious. In the time that there are numerous serious scenarios that could have played out, putting citizens, deputies, and even your canine at unnecessary risk. Lieutenant Christmas wrote. Carter initially received a 32-hour suspension due to this and a combined driving violation, but this was later amended to just 1 day after he was exonerated of the latter. A Guardian tracking system implemented in late 2019 flagged him for 8 use of force incidents in the previous year, but after a review by supervisors, no continuing pattern of improper behavior was found. It was also noted more than once Carter's use of profanity while on the job. Despite repeated reprimands, supervisors write that Carter was a valued member of the team for being a proactive deputy who seeks out criminal activity, getting consistent top marks for gun and drug seizures totaling thousands of dollars, and numerous foot and vehicle pursuits ending in the arrest of suspects. So this man basically was a menace to society. Look, you can sit up here and try to, shower us for phony praise of the work he did, but there's far more incidents of this man being a rogue police officer than anything else. Because see, the one element of law enforcement is that you yourself, as a law enforcement officer, cannot break the law. That's right. So basically, if you're driving down the road, right, the officer cannot be speeding himself to try to catch up to you. Because he's essentially breaking the law himself. But hey, what do I know, right? But the fact that this man, for over 14 years, was continuing to, you got beat people and and other forms of misconduct. I mean, this thing is unacceptable. But he is let's just say he is a component of this ongoing problem when it comes to police officers and their misconduct. Because see, had Biden kept this promise about this police accountability commission that he was going to implement if he got elected, or the George Floyd Policing Act to that effect, you know, it would have taken some time, but guys like this would not be on the street. But instead, that Police Accountability Commission, the George Floyd Policing Act, died like George Floyd did. Because they never had any intentions of doing anything about it. So, at least in this case, we got the desired result of this guy being arrested and charged. But we need prosecution. We need punishment. That's what we need. We need something to what happened with Michael Slager. Well, Michael Slager down in my hometown, Charleston, South Carolina, and we almost approaching a decade. It's been like about five, actually been, because it happened back in 2017, 2016, 2017. But it happened, we about to approach a decade with Michael Slager shot down. I can't remember the Coast Guard, the man who was in the Coast Guard. Can't remember his name right off the top of my head right now. Walter Scott, that's his name. When Michael Slager shot down Walter Scott 8 times in the back because he was running away. And the only reason Michael Slager was busted was because of a cell phone video. And the attorney for that case, Andy Savage, because that's who this guy right here has hired to be his lawyer. Now, for anyone who has grown up in Charleston, South Carolina, Andy Savage is a very prominent attorney. You don't call Andy Savage unless you got at least $10,000 right off rip. And second, if you really got your butt in the crack, that's the guy who you want to call to handle your case. Andy Savage is a prominent lawyer down in Charleston, South Carolina. South Carolina. That's the guy you want to call if you ever get your butt in a crack. Now, unfortunately for Michael Slaker, it ain't work out too well for him because Michael Slaker is doing 20 years in the pokey. But yeah, this guy right here, we're gonna see what happens with him when his trial comes up. So we're gonna follow up on this story as we get more details. But let me know what y'all think about this particular case. Once again, for those of you that may not be aware, or those of you just coming in, this guy right here by the name of James Hank Carter has been fired and charged with gross police misconduct and beating of a man back in October. Now, if you're not subscribed to this channel, make sure you hit the subscribe button and the like button. And thank you to Arkees Ross again for his donation to Cash App. If you want to donate, there's my Cash App, there's my PayPal. If you want to donate to the cause, appreciate everyone for tuning in. Make sure you hit that like button, comment down below, and last but definitely not least, shouts out to the LDBC. This your man. Scream at me. Hurt.